Let's go. Come on. Come on. The real question is, are states following their laws? Are they following the practices that they had in place leading up to Election Day? Or are they trying to change those at the last minute in 2020? That was the problem we had in 2020, is states weren't following their own laws and practices. And as President Trump has said repeatedly, as JD Vance has said as well, as long as states are following their laws, then of course everyone should respect the results of the election. If states are violating their law, if they're engaged in funny business around election practices, then President Trump, just like any other candidate from president down to dogcatcher, has a right to pursue legal redress in the courts. Important point about what's happening. Well, the American people won the debate because they saw Kamala Harris's record exposed in a way that it rarely is. It was exposed in the presidential debate as well between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Again, Kamala Harris has a long record as a weak, failed San Francisco liberal. She may want to try to trick the American people into thinking she's something else, but she's not. That's what she's always been. That's what she will be if she were to win this election. So it's the American people who won tonight because they saw her record exposed.
Look, I hope people watch the whole debate tonight, but if they only watched the end of this debate in the 90th minute, that was a perfect capture of what this debate was like. Governor Tim Walz standing there in a strong way, defending our democracy, talking about the importance of a peaceful transfer of power, and JD Vance was there defending why he was an election denier. Abundantly clear who won tonight. I think it was Governor Tim Walz.
I don't know that I would actually pick out a winner. I mean, I guess it depends on what you were looking for. If you were looking for someone, I mean, they sat there and they agreed a lot. I mean, so, you know, if you're talking about substance and facts, for sure, it had to be Governor Walz. If you're talking about someone who evidenced that he went to Yale and that this is kind of what he did, then I think that he did what he needed to do on the JD Vance side, which is making people believe that he's kind of normal. But this is the weirdo. I mean, we've talked about this a lot, and we didn't see what we've seen in so many of those interviews that he's done, whether it's been podcast or otherwise. We also didn't hear a lot of the crazy rhetoric that he knows doesn't play out well with the American people. So he can say what he wants to say on the stage, but at the end of the day, when we look at his record, when asked point blank about reproductive access, he said, well, we've got to do better about communicating. He didn't answer the questions. And honestly, as women are dying, we need answers. We don't need dancing. And we get answers from Governor Walz. What I saw was someone who was having to defend the indefensible, which is his running mate. You know, when he was asked about concepts of a plan and talking about health care. You know, we've got people that are seriously concerned because while the Affordable Care Act is amazing, it doesn't mean that it's perfect. There's still more work to be done, and the only work that they want to do on that is repeal it as laid out in Project 2025.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'll grab that. I got it. Thank you.
We also needed a little bit of a reminder in history, as we just went through averting a government shutdown. But the longest government shutdown we had in the history of this country came when Donald Trump threw a temper tantrum because he wanted to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
I wanted to say